Hey everyone, the Game Piece here. So today I wanted to take a look at Temtem. I wanted to give you a closer look on the combat systems of the game and basically a guide to help you through the game as you learn it and basically to help you get started on the right foot. So today we're specifically going to be taking a look at the techniques and certain aspects of those, as well as certain effects that can be placed upon your Temtem. So here we go. Let's do this. So we're gonna take a look at Hoochie here. So if you notice here, Hoochie has two abilities here that it'll start off with if you pick it. If you notice here, it has the two slashes. So those slashes are actually called holds. Now, for every slash that it has, that's the amount of turns that you're gonna have to wait to use this move. So, for example, if you send out Hoochie right away, you're not going to be able to use it on the first turn. I'll actually get into a battle here real quick. So, that's what is going to determine what moves you want to place on your Temtem. We'll have to heal first. So let's get into a battle with these people and see how this goes. So if I can show it off here, whatever, let's fight. All right. So, Smazy and Crystal, those other starters, they don't have the holds on their first attacks, so they're able to attack in the first turn. But right away here, you'll see, I cannot use Psywave and I cannot use Hypnosis, because they each have one hold. So I'm going to start off with Kick, because it doesn't have a hold on it at all. And then as you can see here, my 2Y also has one ability that has a hold on it, so I'll have to wait until the next turn to use this move as well. So we're gonna just go ahead and use the moves that we can use first turn, and then I'll show you what we can do there. So also each move has certain effects to it as well, certain damage costs and stamina costs. As you can see here, the stamina drains from my meter. If it reaches 0, you are going to lose a little bit of HP, and then you're going to have to wait for your stamina to regenerate. You can also choose to wait a turn here, and your stamina will also regenerate up over time if you choose to wait. So now as you can see here, I'm able to use Hypnosis and Psywave. And if you right click, you can take a look at what their effects do. Something specific about Hoochie that's really cool is that Hoochie's ability, I'll show it off right here. Its trait, when attacking an asleep target, it won't wake up. So usually if a target is asleep and you attack it, it's going to wake up. But with Hypnosis, you can put a target to asleep for 2 turns with Hoochie and go for an attack and not worry about waking it up at all. So that's a good strategy to use if you're going with Hoochie. Something else that I want to note with holds is that after you use one of these moves that has charged up after 1 turn, and you have to wait 1 more turn to use it. So essentially, if I go for a Hypnosis here, I'm not going to be able to use it for 1 more turn. I'm going to have to wait 1 more turn in order to use it. So I'll go for a Hypnosis, put that to sleep. And if you see here, if I try to use it, it says not ready. But now I can use Psywave again. So that's really something to think about when choosing your moveset. Is if you're gonna want to go for a move that you'll have to wait for like a turn to use again, or if you want 1 attacking moves. Like they have their positives and negatives. You're gonna have to play around with it and figure out what works for you. Now something else to notice here as well is that each technique on your Temtem has a unique type. So for instance, Hoochie here has mental type, 2 mental type techniques, and also 2 of the normal techniques here. So there's also something in this game called same type attack bonus. So if you use a technique with the same type as your Temtem, you're going to gain attack bonus associated with it as well. So if I use like a mental type attack here, it's going to get an attack bonus. So you also notice here that I have to pay attention to what my stamina is. It's at 5 here. So I'm gonna wait a turn. And then I should also heal here. Heal my 2-eye. So it's very important to pay attention to what your stamina costs are and how much you're going to be using, because it's not going to be worth it to take the HP hit and then also have to wait a turn to regenerate. It's better off to just wait or switch out to a different Temtem or heal up. Take that opportunity to heal as well. It's a very good opportunity to do that. Something else that I'd like to note here too is that this tenderness ability, for example, this is a debuffing ability that you can use on the opponents. But if you can see here, I can select my ally Temtem to use it on. So for example, if you have like a buffing ability and you want to use it on your Temtem or any ability, whether its effect is positive or negative, maybe it has a trait that boosts its speed. For example, like Crystal has, if it gets hit by a water type attack, it boosts its speed. If you wanted to use a water type attack like that on your Crystal to boost its speed, you could target it like this and boost its speed like that. There's a lot of strategy, and it's going to be a lot more prevalent in endgame. So there's also something in this game called priority. And if you right click on your moves, you're going to be able to take a look at that. In the bottom right hand corner here, you'll see that this has 2 arrows, which means that it's normal priority. So that's going to be like the normal speed of the Temtem. So each Temtem has a different speed value, and the higher speed is going to move first. And each of these priorities is going to also affect your speed stat and the priority of the move. So if you have 3 here, the kick you see has 3 priority. This is going to take the value of your speed and times it by 1.5. And then that's going to be the value that it uses to determine the priority of your move. So since Huchik is naturally already really fast, this is going to have super high priority. But if you take a look at Peck here, this also has super high priority. This has 3 with a plus on it, which means that it's going to go at 1.75 times the speed of 2Y, making it probably going to outspeed Huchik here. So it's important to pay attention to your speed values if you want to outspeed opponents, as well as the priority system, because that's going to let you use moves that are going to be faster than your opponent that you otherwise might not outspeed. And something also to be mindful of is that some moves have negative priority, which if you have like 1 dash, it might half your speed and use that as the value to determine what your move priority is going to be. So as you can see here too, I'm using Shrill Voice on 2Y, which is one of the starter Temtem that you're going to get right away from the game. And a good strategy here is, since you have a move that is able to hit multiple Temtem at once on the field, you can use that in order to strike down multiple opponents at once. And with 2Y's ability, if you didn't pay attention to it, it boosts multi-attacking moves by 25%. So this is going to do massive damage to everyone on the field. Now I want to go into status conditions. So I talked about hypnosis. You've seen it in action. It puts people to sleep for 2 turns here, and Huchik's ability also allows you to bypass the effect of hitting any sleeping opponent, waking them up. So that's an important thing to remember. But also, hypnosis does not work on any mental types. You cannot put any mental types to sleep. So if I were to try to face another Huchik and use hypnosis on it, it would not be effective. It wouldn't get put to sleep at all. And there's a lot of different Temtem that have conditions like that, such as like the toxic Temtem. They cannot be poisoned. The fire type Temtem can't be burnt, and lots of different ones. There's a full list that I will link in the description below that you can check out for status conditions. But that's also important to be mindful of, and it's going to be more prevalent. Like I said, the stuff is definitely all going to be more prevalent in endgame rather than going through the story, but it's important to be mindful of as well, because the story can get a little bit difficult at times. So when you open up your Temtem's stat page, you're going to be brought to a page that looks like this, and it's going to list all its stats, its moves, and its learned techniques that it's learned throughout its lifetime. You can right click to look at its trait further in all of the moves. But basically I'm going to go over what these mean. So SVs are what's known as single values, and those range from 1 to 50. So 50 is the max, but those determine what value your base stat is going to be for each of these values. So if I have, like, my 37 is pretty high from 1 to 50. It's pretty on the higher scale of that. So my special attack is gonna grow a lot better than, for instance, my HP will. And TVs are training values, and you get these for defeating Temtem. Now, each Temtem yields a certain value of TVs, so it's going to be important when you get to endgame and if you want to do competitive to focus on that specific amount of Temtem to get the TV value that you want to boost your stats. And I'm sure that there's going to be like calculators out there that you can use as a resource to determine what you want to build and how you want to build it as the game progresses. So that's something important to look out for as well. So when you catch a Temtem, right away you're going to be shown this screen, which shows off its trait that it has, its type, and also its SVs that it has, which is really cool. So you don't have to go into like a menu or anything beyond this to determine this. So as you can see, this has decent SVs, but you're going to want to aim for 50s. So you also have the ability to swap out moves on the fly. Like when you have learned techniques like this, any move that you've had in the past, you don't have to go to anyone special to relearn it. You literally can just click and drag and it'll swap it out free of charge, no cost. You can just change it up however you want, which is awesome. Now there's one other thing that I need to talk about, which is synergies. This move here, Energy Manipulation, is one of Hoochuk's ability that it learns at level 11. As you can see, if you use it in combination with a nature ally, it does additional damage and exhausts the enemy for 2 turns, which is super powerful. Because exhausting the enemy is going to make it so it's not able to use as many attacks. So I'm going to see if I can show it off here for you real quick. It also is a first turn no hold move, which is pretty good. So as long as you have a nature ally, use Energy Manipulation for good damage, and then exhaust. So that's about it, everyone. I hope you... So that's about it, everyone. I hope that this guide helped you out, and I hope you learned something. I'm super, super excited for this game to come out on the 21st of January. A couple weeks away, less than a couple weeks even. There's a couple more stress tests if you want to try the game out before then. Give it a little taste, get your feet wet, see if it's for you. I think it's definitely going to be a huge hit. So if this helped you out, be sure to leave a like. Tell me if you're excited for the game. What are you most excited about? And be sure to subscribe if you want more content here. So thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you have a good day.